Hello, 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 story time. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome in, everybody. Happy Tuesday, happy stream day, happy all that other goodness. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you all had good long weekends. If wherever you are in the world had a long weekend. Yes, Mr. Cobell. So excited to catch a live stream. Well, very welcome in, buddy. I hope you're excited. I'm going to paint some Death Guard tanks in a moment. Trying to figure out how Death Guard tanks can be painted using some contrast and stuff. Yeah. I was thinking I might just focus on the dozer blade for the new tank. Not new tank, for my new tank. Just like get the armor, what I need to do down. Like basically use that as like a tester panel and then go from there. I think that's a good way to go about it, but we shall see. We have Kabrinsky. Hendrickson is here. Dino. Hello, hello, hello. What else? What else? Yes, my wolf is also here. Revenant. Mythical creature, that way. What did I miss? So that's probably the evening's entertainment while Mediocre Hobbies does something and talks about monsters and trains. Fair, pretty much fair, yeah. Hello, Ren. Little Cookie G. It was nice to meet you at Warhammer World. Agreed, buddy. You're taller than I. I am 6'2". Yeah, a lot of people think I'm short. Not short, but yeah. Yeah. I actually asked. I thought it was really funny. I told Laura this the other day that when I was at Adepticon, I was talking to Eric's Hobby Workshop, and he's also a tall guy. He's same height as me. And I literally asked him, I was like, what's with all of the American creators? And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, you're all so short. Obviously not you, but everyone else is tiny. Like everyone I met, they're just, is all Americans short? I thought you were all tall people. The American footballers and everything, but no. Mr. Ren, it was very nice to meet you. I'm sure I can get a train or two in the chat regardless. It's true. Happy Pride Month all. I hope everyone left cans of hairspray out for John Water so he brings you this year's gay agenda. I don't quite know what that means, but sure. Lord Ralron comes in with, hey, you guys. Brontonis is here. Hello, Kaprinsky. What else am I missing? Tall man, in case you are wondering, I don't know if you ran into others there. I was heading into the exhibit before I did a double take and saw you. Oh, yeah, for sure. I was talking to Baz at the time. I didn't know that was you. This is what I'm saying. People need to have, like, name badges on, but not their names, their tags. Yeah, we chatted for a minute or two. I was getting all the gossip from the manager of the Warm World store, good friend of mine. Every time I'm over, I try and get all the gossip of like the internal workings of the company or all different managers, nothing's going on, any sassy bits, because really I'm just a whore for tea. I like all the drama. So what's going on? He left? Ooh, what happened? Ooh, he's there now. Where did he go? He got what now? It's a lot of fun. Storm and Wolf, good evening. Howdy ho, folks. Lone Samurai has become Mr. Hanky. Ah, yeah, the good old Irish Viking genes, yes. You'd recognize me. I'm a 6'4" werewolf. That's what I like to see. John Waters is a famous indie director, very out of and proud, and has been since 1980s. Hairspray was one of his biggest hits. Is a famous indie director, I probably know him. It was me. I didn't introduce myself as I didn't want to interrupt your chat with Baz. Mitch is my favorite Warhammer World employee. He's a good bloke. I actually don't know any of the other Warhammer World employees because they change every time I'm there. I'm only there like once a year, let's say, and every time I come in, they're pretty much all gone. He's a big old Irish bastard. It's true. To be honest, I notice people from around Dublin are usually a good bit taller than the West. I'm sure the people out west should have something to say about that. They're too busy lifting heavy things and it's pulling them down to the earth and stuff. Or they're more grounded people. And the old dubs are up in the clouds, floating around doing nothing. Good evening, heretics, the traitor godsman. Right, just getting a little World of Warcraft time. Then back to sorting my new hobby desk. I like new hobby desks. Very good. Mitch is the Australian chap with glasses. Nice bloke. Nice. Frey, thank you so much. Hello, first time chatter. Appreciate you dropping by, dropping a comment, getting involved. Oh, this is... Ah, yeah. Ah, yeah. That cause they were too busy marrying their cousins. Well, it's not Wales, like... Yeah. Growing up in the Netherlands with 184 centimeters, I was average at best here in Ireland, and even back in Germany, I am tall. I'm here to see if TB. I don't know what that refers to, buddy. Has anyone ever done a grand narrative? No, I've never done them. Don't get me started on the Welsh. Message retracted. You have made a mistake, Traitor Guardsman. What did you mean to say? Anyway, I hope you're all doing very, very well. I shall be working on the tank I was building last time. I've gotten it all like finished being prepped. It is now ready to be like worked on. I even got it sprayed roughly. Bits that need to be green or gray and stuff. But I think I should just work on this dozer blade tonight. Like, obviously I could just get some work done on all of it, or I can get a lot of work done on this. Even just the front of the dozer blade, just so I can... Because I have a theory on making the green that I use for the armor work by going like Plague Bear Flesh like normal, and then stippling on the Death Guard green and Nurgling green, and then painting on the yellow glaze. I think I'm going to get a similar result. I think it's going to look really cool. It's going to should be really fast. And then obviously pick out all the bronze and do all the oxidization and all that cool stuff afterwards. And I think we could be onto something. So, yes. Mordian seems to be running a narrative apocalypse thing. Pretty cool. Strapping Irish lad is a stereotype for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I managed to secure a ticket last night for the grand narrative, and it says you need a 2k list, but 3k points total. What? So now I'm panicking, thinking I've just put everything in the box and take all 6,500 points of my Blood Angels. Lol. So this is the trick. If you want to cheat and take more models than your opponent has, it's very simple, right? You just have to remember 3 keywords, and you get away with it anytime, right? So you deploy your army, and someone goes, like, is that 2k? And obviously it's like 3,500. They clearly know, yeah, on the nose. Once you say on the nose, they're like, oh, cool, all right, cool. On the nose. Works every time. Do it. Do what, sir? The green on this lad? I think I will. The dozer blade for this particular tank is stunning. Like, here's where, like I said, I'm not a big fan of 3D printing things that, like, I would never 3D print one of these models to use for myself. Games Workshop sells it. You should buy it from Games Workshop. That's just how I feel. You don't feel that way? Totally fine. But like, I do like it for like add-ons or things that are discontinued, or like, for instance, I would 3D, if I could find the files for this tank, I might 3D print more of the dozer blades and have them on the front of my Death Guard rhinos and stuff as well. Yeah, I'm not going to buy an extra 3 of these tanks just for the dozer blades, but I'll print 3 of these and I won't feel too bad. Because he will look really good on the front of a... painted green! It recommends 3k so you can cycle models out and be selective depending on the narrative situation and the mission. So it's basically a sideboard, which is pretty cool. Ooh, and the yawn begins. A few very long days getting models done. So yeah, I'm gonna start having some Red Bull, and then I'm gonna start getting some Plague Bear Flesh on this beautiful shield. Lots of panels to paint. Yeah, this should be super easy and effective to paint tanks with. So yes. Oh, that's so good. Give me 14, right, man? Okay. I miss the times when you could order bits and single sprues from mail order. That was 25 years ago, but it's a long old time ago. Hi, Dread. Appreciate you, buddy. Red Bull sponsor when. I would take a Red Bull sponsorship in a second. Because unlike all those other people that are sponsored by Red Bull, and then don't drink them. They just have a full fridge in the back shot of all their thing, and then they're like drinking water like losers. Get out of here. You would just see an empty fridge behind me in every shot. Delicious. Delicious. Okay, Plague Bear Flesh. I don't know where this came from, but a large brush appeared on my desk the other day. So one of the old Citadel large brushes. So I'm just going to throw a bit of Plague Bear Flesh on with this. Constantly empty. 48 cans supplied a week. A week? 48 cans. I could blow that out of the water. I miss the times. Yes. Now I feel old. I can make everybody feel really old. Everybody. Shall I make everybody feel old and miserable? Right, here's how it works. Today is the 3rd of June. Yesterday was the 2nd of June. Yesterday was the halfway point of 2025. Okay? We are halfway through 2025. Which means that when it went to the 3rd, which is today, we are closer to 2050 than we are to the year 2000. Crippling depression is what followed after I read that, so everyone else can join me in that. Yeah. If you want a Red Bull sponsorship, have you tried sideswiping an Englishman? F1 reference. I could make it happen. Just add a cardboard cutout of a fridge and everyone will think you're famous. Or, yeah, you're right, actually. I could just do that. Like, I could just buy a monster fridge and a Red Bull fridge and have them in the background and make them think I'm sponsored by. I think you're younger than I am. I'm 36, if that helps. The deepest available sigh. Yeah. Where am I welcome from? Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. Plague Bear Flesh. Big flat area. Not too flat, though. And obviously, we have all the trim, which will do a gnarly color. So don't worry about too much about that for now. I also need the shade. What the hell did I shade my Death Guard with? I have to do that before I do the stippling or it'll be too bright. Was it brown? Did I brown wash it? I missed the mail order trolls. At one point, I was phoning almost every week for bits. One or two knew my by name. Yeah, I'm 41 currently, and your tale didn't make me feel old. Oh. Actually, we are on day 154 of 25, so 29 days to be over the halfway mark. The math irked me. That's okay. Oh, do we think this is gonna work? It's better to find out on just, why is it not focusing? Find out on one piece and then, before I go mad, do the whole bloody thing. I need to get some banging tunes on as well. The silence, it's deafening. God damn it. Definitely wasn't a Beal Tan shade. And actually we have been closer to 2050 than 20,000 since January 2nd. Yeah, sure. 41 is a good age. Better than 36. Spray at Wraithbone and bathe it in sepia. Beal Tan shade, no. How would you have done the Plague Birch Crawler if it was Pallid Hand? You ask me loads of questions like that and they're just so out there. Like, I can't pluck that out of my brain right now. What color is the Pallid Hand? Is that the one that's like the bone colored armor? Does anyone remember what shade I used for my Death Guard? Or do I have to look it up again? Fun fact, Plague Birch Crawler isn't a tank. It's a self-propelled artillery gun. It is indeed an artillery piece. Yay, I win at being old. Wait, damn it. Congrats. GW is 50 next year and 40k is 40 years old. I'm 50 next year. It's pretty cool. You're old. You're just like the same age as Warhammer, which I think is pretty cool. Yeah, I'm not the oldest here. Damn it, just realized that Space Wolves Combat Patrol box with the lieutenant I'm using for Laura's Death Watch is now behind all the boxes. Facepalm. Yeah. Andy, opinion. Do you prefer the darker base of the Fang CF Wolfkin Grey? Wait, what? For Space Wolves or lighter like Grey Seer base? Okay, hold on. Do you prefer the darker base? Fang's a really nice starting point for Space Wolves. Or lighter like Grey Seer base. Grey Seer is a grey. It's not a... Unless you're doing pre-heresy or heresy or... the Fang could work, but like I said, I like doing the Space Wolves great contrast over the spray and building it up from there. I'll be doing a lot of Space Wolf videos in the next few weeks, so don't worry about that. I don't know. Like, I don't usually start painting from a flat base coat anymore, like the Fang, which would make a perfectly good base coat for doing Space Wolves. I'm really in there with that contrast. Color Forge. There's Ghoul Grey is my the Color Forge color that I use is Ghoul Grey for the spraying. That's what's on this. I actually wanted to try the Poxwalker shade. You're gonna make me have to look up my own video, so I have to find out what the hell shade I use. Oh, let's have a nosy. Wasting my own time. You and you and you and you. How far back till I find us paying a death card thing? Wait, is that a video? Yeah, shut up. No one wants to hear you talking. Is it brown? Oh, Agrox. It is Agrox. Okay. My heresy scheme is just Mechanica Standard Grey. Yeah, Ghoul Grey replaced Grey Seer for me too. It's so good. Yeah. I'm putting in an order for more paints and sprays probably later tonight. I've got to figure out what I need. I'm definitely running low on sprays, like dangerously low. Like spraying that tank there, I think pretty much cleared out my black. But so, and I've got some more stuff to spray for this week. Wolfkin Grey, which is the closest to the Fang in color. They do colors for most things as an alternate Games Workshop, and so far I haven't been disappointed by a single one of their sprays. And they're cheaper and bigger cans. So for me, Color Forge is a no-brainer for me right now. And that's why you make a spreadsheet of which colors you used and which... I know, it's such a pain in the backside. Getting low on sprays is dangerous. It is. I just ran out of black after spraying the 2 models left for the trolls. Ugh. With the release of the new Votan Codex... New Votan Codex? Do you think you'll release a battle box to go along with it? Votan Codex? When did they do the Votan Codex? Am I going crazy? Did I miss a codex? God, that's good. Andy, you need to try dead animal bits. Who do you think you're talking to? I try everything and have all. I use a notebook for my paint. I genuinely did use I have it here somewhere. I have a notebook which had my paint schemes in it, but once I started making videos, they're in the videos. Just, you know what I mean? No Votan release codex. That's what I thought. So I don't know what the person's talking about. Votan and Drakari 10th edition Votan codex is incoming. It's on preview. When is it on preview? What am I missing here? Did I miss an announcement or something? I feel like I missed something. It's not out till next quarter. Seems like, hypothetical question, Votan will get a codex sooner or later and definitely needs a box for more stuff. Votan definitely does need a couple more sets. Like, I like what they have, and I've painted everything they have so far. I've painted them the wrong color. No, I haven't tried the spray can for it yet. Is that his signature can? Yeah. I just got a box of Daniel bits yesterday. Nice. He's such a nice guy. He's so nice. Where is my brown shade? Hello. Hey, listen. Somewhere in front of me is Nagrok Third Shade. Chaos Knights are the latest reveal for me. Yeah, I think the Chaos Knights are the newest thing. Afternoon, Andy, I'm painting up painting up my new gaming room / man cave. So it's nice to have company. I got you, buddy. I heard the Votan box and release get heavily delayed. Yes, it's very possible. I'll let you in on a secret. Shall I let you in on a secret? I'll let you in on a secret. So, Games Workshop have already made enough money this year, in their financial year. You got to remember, it's December, January, February, March, April, May. So, May is the last month in the financial year for Games Workshop, and then the new one starts in June. So, like, they had made so much money, and like that big releases that were in that in that financial year are like, we don't need to release those then. We've made enough, so we'll pull them back and have more bigger releases for the next year. You know what I mean? So for absolutely no reason other than that, they will have moved stuff around. So it's bizarre, but they do that. Ricard could go to Legends. No, they couldn't. They both seem like they're bottom of the barrel. How dare you? How dare you? Dark Eldar are just such a nice army. Love me some Dark Eldar. Alright, let's throw some brown shade. Just to darken it up, or else the... What the hell is that? Stupid fleck of something on my brush. Get off the brush, you jerk. And Votan couldn't go to Legends. They're brand new. They're the newest army in Warhammer 40,000. Gotta give them a chance, man. Give them a chance. What do you mean bottom of the barrel? In what respect do you mean bottom of the barrel? Yes. Popularity. Just because you don't see them in tournaments very often. Remember, tournaments are not the be-all and end-all of the hobby. Tournaments actually make up an incredibly small portion of the player base. So I wouldn't say that they're unpopular. Like I said, I managed a Games Workshop store for 15 years. We sold a lot of Dark Eldar. So, yeah, I don't know. But sometimes they are incredibly powerful in tournaments. That they have come around and had their moments. I think we'll get Exodites. I have had a mighty need for 30 years. Exodites will be a very strong contender for me for what I would want the next army to be. Exodites. This kit I'm working on has parts 6 and 9 mixed up. Yeah. What was I building the other day? Which had all... It was this! The tracks on this in the instructions are all messed up. Like, all messed up. And it was very annoying. Tournaments are 0.03% of the player base. About that, yeah. And people think that they are the be-all and end-all. Like, you see a trend in a tournament and that equates to sales in Games Workshop. It's like, no. After an MP, yes. Flotsam Back's release delayed, which is weird because I've already heard that the Space Marine 2.0 drop around the corner. The Dark Eldar are the pizza cutters 40k. All edges. No point. Votan are not the newest. What's the newest race? Well, newest race, not newest army. What new army came out after them? What have I missed? What the hell have I missed? What are you talking about? Photon. That's not a new army, dumbass. Jesus Christ. You know, every edition they bring back a new army. Like, they brought Knights into the game, and then they brought Custodians into the game, and then they brought Votan into the game. That's what I mean. Children have been around since the beginning of time, man. They do have a few shiny models right now, but... Exodites is plausible. They're actually getting new release waves. Learned a while ago that 99% of Magic the Gathering players had never been played in stores, let alone organized play. Yeah. Votan sell actually quite well. That doesn't surprise me at all. Imperial Agents, lol. GW said that we'll get a full army during 10th edition. A full army of what? Votan? The kill team report. Yeah. What does the chin look like? I need a suitable head for the Deathwatch Space Wolf. He's Laura, can you drop a link to one of the battle reports with the Mr. Chinstopher in it? My money is Exodite 3 months before 11th, like they did with Sisters back a couple of editions. Very plausible, but like, Eldar just got a whole... I know Eldar thingy are very different. You know, they could be entirely separate codex and stuff like that. But I still don't think that we're getting Exodites yet. No, Ren, you're so wrong. Admech sell like hotcakes. Seriously, Admech sell a lot. So does Drakari. I would say Admech sells more than Drakari. And I wasn't really around for Votan, so I didn't sell Votan, so I couldn't give you any like insider information on those, to be honest. Don't tournament players usually buy second hand based on the meta? So wouldn't he? No, I think that's a kind of a misconception as well. Some will, but lots of them just buy armies. Maybe they're the lowest player in tournament meta. Potentially, yeah. I can't remember which chart I was looking at. It was probably... Chart means tournaments. 10th. Damn Kiwa. Oh, he's in a battle report. He's in a few of the battle reports. He's my arch nemesis. Still have his Iron Warriors army on my shelf. So I can threaten him with at any point. Not that you'd really give a shit about them, to be honest with you. Votan Combat Patrol box has been retired. Something is brewing for stunties. I would appreciate a second wave of Votan, to be honest with you. Really flesh them out. Aren't all combat patrols being updated? Yeah, what are they becoming now? Vanguard? No, that's the other one. I have his Iron Hands army. Talk about a low value hostage. No Iron Warriors, not Iron Hands. A new combat patrol. Everyone gets a new combat patrol. They do like giving us new combat patrols. Come on, dry. Now, the question is, am I sponging or am I stippling? I think stippling. Oh, Iron Warriors, that is even worse. Yeah. My biggest question was, whilst I was walking around the exhibit Grey Knights, all of the Ultramarine models and Necrons were all missing from their respective displays. Honestly, we have been doing that for years. Like, for 20 years we've been doing that, going to the Hall of Miniatures and seeing what's missing and theorizing, and it never means anything. They're a way being used for photographs for a billion different reasons. It has nothing, it never equates to the new codex is coming soon. Like I wish it did, but it never seems to. Yeah, they could be doing a battle report, or they could be background miniatures showing off something else, or just shots for White Dwarf, or unfortunately, yeah. I wish it was. I do genuinely wish that it was a thing, but like I said, we've done that a million times and it has never resulted in what we wanted it to. Controls, but they're making them more meta. But I would totally take part in a combat patrol tournament. Yeah, that kind of thing wouldn't interest me at all. Don't know why. Combat patrol and Vanguard thingy and all that stuff, just that restriction of having, like, some people love that restriction. Laura and Dave both love that concept of just buying this box set and having these models, and that's your force. I hate that. On speculation, it's because so much was missing from cabinets. All I saw was dust. You know what Valrak's like. Any hint of anything and he'll make a video on it. Dip, thanks so much for the tier 1. Subscribe for 36 months. That's 3 years, buddy. And that's math. 3 friggin' years. What is the music? Space Journey ambient music. Yeah, that'll do. Kind of cool. Creepy. Spearhead is good. Combat Patrol, not so much. Yeah, like I've no doubt that they're good or not good. I don't speculate on that because I don't play them, but like it's not about that. It's I don't want to be restricted in the toys and the dollies that I take. Stippling is definitely the correct way to go, I think. Today I'll be using a large Artist Opus Series D brush, which I think the brush is actually a bit fat on that. I think a little bit smaller. Medium, yeah, that's what I'll need. Now I just need my paints, my Death Guard green and my Nurgling green. Are you one of the ones I need? You're a Death Guard. Hello. Come back in. How are you? One more time. How are you doing? Your yellow glaze. I've been told Warcry was pulled from the Warhammer store. I wouldn't be surprised, unfortunately. We got so many of those box sets, like creators. You can actually, yeah, you can't see it's in that corner, but I've got all of them, all the Warcry. I loved Warcry. I even bought all the card sets when the first edition came out and had a folder with them all in it and everything. And then they brought out they made it even better for me, which is like you could build your own gangs, and they let me play with like Empire models and stuff. Oh, so cool. So I really enjoyed Warcry as a setting and a game system, the rule set. I thoroughly will stand behind that and say that it's really good. And I'm glad that I have all the books and all the stuff, so that even if they take it away, I can decide to play it like more time kind of thing. But that was a game that I just think didn't get as much attention as it needed. I think someone else talked about this. This is not a new concept to me, but it's something I definitely agree with. I think Games Workshop has like groups of players, okay? Which obviously they do. So you've got your like tournament heavy people, and then you've got your narrative basic people, and then you've got your skirmish people and stuff. You know what I mean? Small game system type people. And I think out of all those groups, the skirmish people are pulled in a million different directions. There's like 15 different skirmish games that Games Workshop is like poking you with and prodding you with all the time. And I think that community is just so fractured. Like if they just focused on Kill Team, or they just focused on Warcry or whatever, I think you would have a much more concise, solid group of players that would, you know what I mean? Like, why is there Spearhead and why is there Warcry and then why is there Underworlds and why are there just 3 games for small versions of Age of Sigmar? Like, it seems stupid to me. So I don't know. True, Skirmish is oversaturated. I really believe it is. Yeah, I don't need it. Like, although I'm a person who loves boarding actions, like, you know, boarding actions came out around the same time as Kill Team, and you're like, why are you? You want the same player base to play both of these games, and they're different rule sets. My store is still loaded with Warcry. Buy what you can. I like Warcry, but the bespoke products weren't needed to play it, which undercut it, unfortunately. Yeah, I have, and it's one of those projects that it'll happen when I have a studio. When I have a studio, there'll be like, I don't know how many tables set up, but one of them will be like that living forest, because I've got all that scenery and I want to see it all on a table in one big thing. I think it's going to be incredible looking. Can't wait for that. Your opinion, is GW paying too much attention to tournaments? Yes. It feels like it's the be all and end all for stuff like that, yeah. I think so. But it's also, they're the most, it's not their fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's just it's smart business, I feel, because if you think about Games Workshop, who's like, if they need to show the game off to the world, for instance, like, you know, whatever, the tournament scene is a concise group of people that stream games, and you know where to find them, and they meet up here every week or every month, and they run these events these times of the year on these different places. You know, you go to LVO, there'll be tournaments on. You go to Adepticon, there'll be tournaments on and stuff like that. So it's really easy to get involved with that and support that and stuff like that. Like, if you're like, oh, cool narrative, how do you support narrative? Like, where's the narrative gaming groups? I don't know where they are. I don't know where they meet up and what they play and how they play. And, you know, there's only so much you can do from Warhammer World. So, although I think they are, I'm not sure if it's their fault. So, Necromunda and Kill Team both work, but they cater to vastly different skirmish players. Do they? Like, if only one of them existed, if only Necromunda existed, would the Kill Team people not just play Necromunda, do you not think? to entice Skirmish players to buy more stuff, hence quit a few Skirmish games. Yeah, I do agree. Kill Team and Combat Patrol seem to be the same level. Yeah. Then you have Blood Bowl, Warcry, Underworlds, Mordheim, and then Fantasy Yeah. I do think we will see Mordheim sooner than later, given the success they've had with the nostalgia-based game. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think I could be seriously wrong, but I thought I read something somewhere about like Games Workshop not fully owning the rights to Mordheim. It's like Spider-Man being owned by Sony but used in Marvel. It's like, I think it's like a weird thing like that. So I'm not sure, will they ever just dive into Mordheim? That was the same case with Warhammer Quest. There's a reason Warhammer Quest was brought back out by those toy game companies and not by Games Workshop, because Games just don't own it. But Warcry is a great game, just no one plays it for some reason. I know, I don't get it. A big issue is you don't need to buy Warcry to play it. Absolutely. And that's exactly the same thing we talked about with why Games Workshop are trying to make the distinction between old world miniatures and Age of Sigmar miniatures. Because you can't tell the success of a game if you don't have literal sales being pumped into one side or the other. For narrative gaming, they need to get back to summer campaigns. Yeah. I think that Games Workshop needs to start opening back up battle bunkers. Okay, so Games Workshop used to have a program called Battle Bunkers, which is they opened up bespoke large stores in big cities, which had like 50 tables in them, and they had them as like big hubs for gaming. They'll never return to that, unfortunately, because their stores are they're like gift shops now. They're really annoying to me. And I find it a really, really dangerous business model for Games Workshop to adopt, to not have somewhere that they are in control of. And for two main reasons for me, which is, I know when I ran a Games Workshop store, I was the voice of Games Workshop in Dublin. There's only a couple of stores. I'm in Ireland mostly. I was the voice. So that means when people came down and they had a conversation, they were like hanging out in the Games Workshop to play games, and they were like, oh, Games Workshop did this stupid thing. And everyone starts a conversation about moaning about Games Workshop. I was there to be the voice of reason, to be like, well, actually, they probably did it because of this. You know, you can't just think about it like that. I know it's annoying, but like, you know, be that voice in the space. But now all you have is independence. So if you have an independent and one of those conversations start up, no one's going to control it. It's just going to run rampant. So you're just going to have all this cesspools of just negativity towards Games Workshop and stuff like that, which I think is horrible. And then also, as 3D printing becomes more and 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 more accessible every single week, not even every single year, every single week it becomes more accessible. If you have spaces that don't give a shit what models you put down on the table, then that's super dangerous. Whereas if you have these big bunkers set up and they're running really cool events that you want to participate in, then you're going to continue to buy and support Games Workshop so that those models can be taken to those events and played. Remember the battle bunkers? Yeah, if they had skulls and outriders, that was a long, long time ago. The outrider program was very cool. Counterpoint: we've complained that GB needs to be free rules for ages, then they do not, and no one plays it. Yeah, I also think, here's my hot take on Games Workshop, right? Games Workshop is the most important thing in all of miniature hobby. All of it. I don't care what game system you play. I do not care what it is. Your player base came from Games Workshop. No other company, and I mean none, is creating new hobbyists. None of them. None of them have stores. None of them have intro games. None of them have programs for introducing new people. Like, games companies now that make new games and launch them on Kickstarter are just siphoning people from the pool of players that Games Workshop created. If Games Workshop went bankrupt tomorrow, all the other game companies would just soon follow because their player base would be diminished and no one would be replenishing them from the top. People want official and sanction its marketing, sales, and if you get it free, it's not worth anything. It's true. Flags and Twitter of Warhammer confirmed. The high price GW supposedly asks for their stuff actually keeps the whole hobby in at least sustainable space. Veterans Night was the best. Veterans Night I think is super important. I want to go do another Armageddon world check. I want world campaigns as well. I think that was so cool. I think the last batch that they did were just so crappy, where it was just like you go onto a web page and you click down drop down menu being like, I played and I won. I'm playing for chaos. The end. That's all you did. And I think that just doesn't has no impact to that. If they stop people playing at the store, I'll just stop doing the hobby. I have nowhere else to play. Sam, that's exactly how I feel, because when I grew up, I had no one to play with either. Like, my friend group was all football and sports crazy, which I was not. So when I found Games Workshop, found the hobby, and found a space that I could go to, make all new friends. Like, right now, my entire friend group was created from being in Games Workshop and being in the hobby. All of the ones I had when I was a kid, they're all gone, man. I don't know those people anymore. So I always talk about people like me who look at how much money I spent. Just look at it. And how many of me is being turned away now because they don't have those facilities anymore. GW is the 500-pound gorilla. You're goddamn right. GW is bringing new people in. No other company does that. GW is the whale where all the little suction fish attached to. Basically, yeah. Anyone who thinks Games Workshop needs to go away just doesn't understand business. The Great Unclean One. I have so many Great Unclean Ones. I love them. Combat Patrol was good to learn the basics of the game if you never played anything before and fun. I like that as a concept, the Combat Patrol, but wasn't the Combat Patrol rule system entirely different to 40k? Or was that another one? I remember that with Kill Team. Where, not this edition of Kill Team, the last edition, where they brought out new rules, and even like how far you could move was based on an icon. It was so stupid. Many people in the club play both Kill Team and Necromon. Some of them also play Mordheim. Cool. You mean Hero Quest? GW's 100% owns Warhammer Quest. No, it's one of them it doesn't own. The other way they re-released Hero Quest. But Games Workshop didn't release Hero Quest. If GW 100% owned it, then that wouldn't be the case. They would never be able to have such a place here in Oslo. We have 2 big clubs and people are members of. Yeah. I get exactly what you mean. It was exact same. GW was the only place I felt comfortable. It's super important. So like I would open a battle bunker in every capital city store. I know that screws some people over, but I'm sorry, but I think that's the most logical thing. And I think the space would make a loss. I don't think it would make... Unfortunately, Games Workshop only looks at the profit margins for certain places, but I think in the long run, for the health of the community and for the health of that moving forward, I think they're super needed. Hasbro owns Hero Quest, yeah. GW does not own Hero Quest, but they do own all the fluff and names. Yeah. Hence the new edition, rearrange and reimagining. Yeah. Yes, but you said it was Warhammer Quest. Okay, I got it wrong. Relax, Alderon. Now by Hasbro. I played a little Inquisitor years ago. Does anyone think it could come back? Inquisitor is kind of still around, but I think the problem I think with Inquisitor is I think the same thing that's going to be a problem with Shatterpoint, which is like I wish Shatterpoint was inside the Star Wars Legion miniature range, so you could release these bespoke sets of 3 characters that are Star Wars Legion scale. Therefore, all of your scenery is usable instead of bringing out this new system which has larger scale miniatures, and then everyone has to buy a whole new table of scenery, which was the problem with Inquisitor. You bought this one model and it's like, oh, this is great. All I have to do is buy one model to play. Cool. Oh, I need a whole table of scenery that's like 54mm tall, and it's supposed to be a game that's really dense when it comes to scenery, which was really annoying. So a lot of people scale it down and they play Inquisitor 28 now, which is normal scale Space Marines playing Inquisitor and using the rule set and stuff. People seem to have a lot of fun with that. Should be marketing cost due to eats. Exactly, that's how I feel. Because hobby needs space. Inquisitor would have a decrease in scale. It needs to, yeah. But the Inquisitor is just a kill team. Inquisitor was one model, not in Kill Team. Jim needs to certain point control the hobby. I do 3D print and I do buy out of production stuff from 3D parties, but they need to actually keep this as a... Yeah, well, of course they do, man. It's dangerous. It's super dangerous. Kill Team was a solid character, yeah. Much of the themselves, but for all the smaller companies and especially independent stores, Inquisitor is more like Necromunda. I'm going to be brutally honest. I've never actually played a game of Inquisitor, so I will just take your word on it. Inquisitor 28. That's what I was trying to say when I said the other one. Living Rulebook Inquisitor, just in normal 28mm scale, which I think is really good. A question years ago, does anyone think Inquisitors now their role play game? Yep. Okay, time to step. Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-da. Doo-da. Hope I get away with it. La-di-doo-da-day. That is dry. Has to be super dry for that. And this brush has to be slightly wet. Perfect. Okay, we start with a bit of Death Guard green on the old base. Come on, let's go. I hate FOMO. I think it should be, I don't know what that means. I think it should be MTO during poll or as long as his pre-order period is up and running. You hate fear of missing out. I think it should be made to order during the... once again, yes, I totally agree with that as a concept, but the logistics of it doesn't work yet. Like, they can't control that because they're working so far ahead with orders and stock and like warehouse space and stuff that like they can't risk a made to order opening up and someone orders 100,000 of something. Yes, that's great money, but they're like, we do not have the manufacturing times to fit in making 100,000 of these things. We're screwed now. Like, you look at the amount of things that are out of stock on the website, it's because they literally don't have time to make more of them right now, which is insanity. So they're continuously making new warehouses and new facilities and stuff, and hopefully one day they will catch up on themselves, but right now they screwed. Yeah, they did it a few times for the release boxes. Yes, I hate how the rules are shoved into the FOMO army boxes. But the rules just come out like them by themselves a few weeks later. Just don't fall for it, man. Okay, let's try this. So, start stippling some green on. What we're trying to do is add a bit of that mottled texture to the armor. So far, so good. A half and half comparison. You can see all the color showing through. It's the whole... One of my favorite things about this whole style is, like, you know that I've put, like, a base coat of a grey, then we went Nurgling green, or sorry, Plague Bear Flesh, then we did a brown shade, and now we've stippled, and you can see all those colors through it all. I think it looks so good. Around 2000, Games Workshop had many more stores than they have today. I remember the first GW store visited was a small town in the area I come from today. I have two in Sweden, Stockholm, Gothenburg. They have way more stores now than they have back then. Way more. Like, a lot more. Games Workshop is the only multinational that acts as if is run out of the grandmother's basement. It's just a whole thing. Like, it's not that they want to. It's like building factories and ordering those machines and stuff. They're so expensive. Yeah, they try, but the amount of product that they move is insane. Like, do you know they have a solid UPS team that just works from their warehouse? Like, they don't deliver stuff to UPS. UPS was just like, okay, you ship too much stuff with us. So, like 50 UPS employees just show up to Warhammer World every day to box orders and put them on trucks and send. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's kind of crazy. I've missed now that I'm home from Good Boy Heaven points. I like it. So built Swamp Digger, and now I'm painting him. I wish I did not. Oh no. Not to mention getting the space to build the factories is a whole other thing. Honestly, at this point, it is the management. They probably need to have a full... I don't know about that. They're making so much money. How do you complain with that? I think the main pain point is actually the paper and cardboard and books. Paper stuff is not yet made in house. No, it's still made in, I think it's Poland it's produced. There, but building now their own printing factory for that. So I think we see actually within the next, yeah, new hobby desk, you finish stuff, start. Sons of Malice, plus trying to keep it all in Nottingham. Yeah, they like keeping it all in house. Okay, the other side. Space Marine Vanguard Task Force was in stock for like 2 weeks. Yeah. I find it sad that the new Beastman character for Old World didn't sell out when he was released. I'm like, oh, he's like the only Old World character that has been released from now that hasn't just immediately gotten sold out. From what I know, the energy rig in Nottingham was unable to guarantee keeping the runnings at an emergency power surge due to having more factories. As far as I know, that got solved now. I don't know about that because they're in an industrial estate. There's so much going on in there. I think the grid is pretty robust. I could be wrong though. I don't actually know. I just feel like that's what it would be. And they probably made as many as they could and sold out as could. True. Hey there, thanks so much for all your Old World videos. Just got myself a Tristan and Jules too. Nice. My wallet is crying. My heart is laughing. Yeah, some of the Old World characters are not cheap. But they're just such beautiful, fun characters. I love having them in my collection. So, all right, we're jumping up to Nurgling Green now, and we're doing exactly the same thing we did a second ago, but we're obviously going lighter with this stipple. Just adding in that texture. And see what I'm doing. So you can see the difference side to side. So that Nurgling Green will have added all of that gnarly texture in. And then of course when we hit it with the yellow glaze, it should make it pop and look really toxic like the rest. And it should just look really good. I'm not really telling you it's looking good. I'm saying that in the hopes that this is going to look good. And we're on the way to making this Plague Burst Crawler be very easy to paint. Very accessible. So far so good. People often ask me how I clean these brushes. Sometimes they're quite expensive and stuff like that. Usually I just squirt this water, but I don't have enough in it to squirt, so. But I just pour a little bit of water onto the desk. Like this. And then I stab it. Then you can wipe the bristles. And obviously that's all the green that's come out of the bristles so far. And then I just repeat the process. So I'll do that 2 or 3 times. As you see, a lot less green has come off at that time. But it's still got flecks of green and stuff in it. Problem is you don't want to like oversaturate this, but you don't want to dip this brush into a water palette or anything like that. There's a bit more. Sorry. And then see that pass, there's virtually nothing coming off the brush. Therefore, to me, that is clean. Give it a wipe. And you're left with your perfect Series D Artist Opus brush, ready for your next job. Simple as. I was talking to Byron when I was over at whatever I was over at when I saw him, and like I mentioned that I'm currently up to like 15 of those brushes, more 12 plus like 18 of his brushes, and I haven't retired a single one yet. He was like, "Oh, that's pretty good going." I'm gonna wait for that paint to dry 100% before I put the glaze on. Space. Well, yeah. It turns out that you found it short. I had full 5th edition Bretonnian army. Old metal characters got stolen. Ooh, what? I would love a factory in Memphis, Tennessee, to go with the distribution center that's already here. That would be cool. I still miss. Yeah, there's still a bunch that I need. Some of those older characters. Like I said, I need the Joan of Arc style character. And I need the Robin Hood characters as well. I have Friar Tuck. I have him, basically. But I don't have the Little John and Robin Hood characters. The warehouse there might be close to a move to Canada. Yeah. Still salty about those. Oh, 5th Ed Loom. Yeah. Now that's a good trick. Cheers. Anytime, buddy. Wonder if it'll work with the synthetic. It should do. It should do. It's very quick and accessible and stuff. And like some bristles will eventually get like stained. This is the one I was using to stipple. You can see it's the one I stippled all my Sons of Horus tanks with. So you can see it's got but the bristles are still perfectly soft. It's just the bristles are stained, but they're not gonna come off and the bristles like it's still a perfect brush. So yeah. Same with this one. Like this is the color that's permanently stained in the bristles, but it's still all soft and you know what I mean. It's the extra large one. Don't ask me what I was using for that for, because I don't remember. Okay, now the moment of truth. Where is my brush? Honestly, at this point, the management of maybe in more countries, but at the time they'd been 15, 20 stores in Sweden, and they were bigger than the stores they have today. The store, I remember Gothenburg, 20 square meters being generated, no, they definitely have more stores now today than they did back then by hundreds. I don't know if there's translate partly, but I make cardboard for a living. Our target per day is 250,000 square meters. What? Sometimes you make it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the machine breaks down and can cost us days in production. The machine I work on, I don't know how much it costs, but it feeds 12 others. I know the price tag on 2 of those machines is about 7.5. Yeah. Don't let Byron see you. I clean my brushes better than Byron cleans his brushes, I think. New store opening in... they open new stores every bloody week, man. Only natural brush is my fine detail now. Yeah. Okay, let's see if this is going to take the yellow glaze like the model, the miniatures did. And is all going to be okay? Or am I about to ruin this shield? Is it about to get dumped into the biostrip? I don't think so. I think it's going to work just fine. Actually, it's going to need to work from a palette a little bit from this because I don't need a lot of it at a time. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, now we're cooking. That's exactly what I wanted to see. What a difference a glaze makes. Look at that. How insane is that difference? Like this is just so dull and boring and flat and not interesting. And then you have this exciting color over here. Love it. The Cheltenham store is getting its first refurb in 20 years next week. We're worth cashing the train over for the reopening. They'll probably have the reopening miniatures there. The miniatures you get for like launch, you might get access to those, so it's always worth popping over. And finish my 5th collectible coin book. Nice. Don't let buyer. Yeah. Try not to spill these Lamenter yellow glazes. Yes, but Malmo in Denmark, or at least that's what the rest of Sweden thinks. Wait, what? I don't understand that. Oh, Malmo's in Denmark. Is that a thing? Is that a Sweden and Denmark joke that I don't understand? They do. Might get another Sergeant Joven. Nice. Always worth getting a few extra toys. Right, now, is his whole dozer blade going to be... Is the rest of the metallic bits going to be brass? I think so, right? I think that's about the only color that really makes sense for it. I think silver would be a bit weird. So where's my Balthazar Gold? Or as Scarlett calls them, books of why we're poor. Yeah. We don't talk about that. Yeah. Where is... Are you there? Yeah. I don't think you are. No, you're not. God damn it. Dang nabbit. Where is Balthazar Gold? Aha! Sneaky. No, it's a Swedish joke that they don't understand. Yeah, it's currently in Sweden, but their dialect is considered close to the Danish, and many Swedes claim to not understand them. Oh, really? That's funny. Yeah. You'll never find a country with more accents than, I think, Ireland. We are a land of utter lunacy when it comes to... Why is this Balthazar Gold so wrecked? Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Hello, Glyn. Don't come to Sweden then. Lol. Accents. Yeah. Okay, let's see if I just start picking out parts of this in the bronze. Obviously you have to do all the oxidization and all the darkness and all the bits we need to frame the green. I didn't say Sweden. Wait, what? Switzerland? Oh, sorry. You want mixed accents? Try coming to the UK. The accent changes every 50 miles or so. Yeah. Switzerland, we're practically the same, right? Yeah. Both start with SW. I read fast, badly. Yeah. In Ireland, accents change across every river you pass. It's true. We're also a country that they're like every county hates every other county. We hate each other, man. The only thing all the counties outside of Dublin can agree on is how much they all hate Dublin. Dublin itself has multiple. It's true. Ireland has only 4 accents. Understandable, semi-understandable, whatever hell they speak in the north, and Cork, which is just noise. I mean, you've got it pretty much right. Dublin, yes. Why do you think I keep moving further and further away from Dublin? Yeah. Try Norway. There are 2 official languages here, and in each village they speak a completely different dialect. Norwegians are just valleys and peaks. Sounds awful. Why would you do that to yourself? There's currently a poll up in my hobby group trying to decide what we're going to do for next year's Warhammer World trip. I've put my vote in for the heresy stuff, but I don't know how many people are going to follow me down that rabbit hole. I think 40k is probably going to win out. And then we're going to try and decide whether we want to put a theme on it like we did for this trip. It could be fun. I like themes. Of course, heresy is winning, but how many votes are in? Like, I knew me and Ian were going to pick heresy. Seven. How many's left? So is Horse Heresy 1? Or can somebody draw it with that vote? Do 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 do. Boo boo doo boo doo boo doo boo. Blocking in the color. No, I think horse 61 at this point. The next highest is 4. Okay. I had to call around to different places here, and after a while, I switched to speaking English. But unfortunately, not everyone is as good as English, so my Norwegian colleague had to talk to them. And then when he hung up, I had asked how it went, and he just shrugged his shoulders and said, I have no idea. Don't understand a word. That's fantastic. I'm pretty good at understanding everybody when they talk. Like, there isn't an Irish accent that I can't hear and I won't understand. And it's the same for the Scots. It doesn't matter how Scottish, yeah, I can understand every word you're saying. But I think that's just a Celtic thing, to be honest. It's on our private hobby group, me and my friends, like, for our Warhammer World trip for next year. Now, we might see the new rules for the Horse Heresy and be like, feck that. But I would quite like to get some yellow Imperial fists marching down corridors with lots of breacher shields and having really cool games like that. I think it'd be amazing. Understanding Scottish accents is simple. It's based on a range of how drunk you need to be to... Yeah. You understand all Scottish, you say. Let me introduce you to someone from Peterhead. Ever heard of a human sound like a seagull? Pal, from Dublin. Half the population sounds like seagulls. Oh, new follower, Malak71. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you, buddy. Welcome on in. Horse Heresy on a 3-year cycle is perplexing to me. That player base likes that it's on a treadmill. Well, everything is on a 3-year cycle. That's how they would run it. So everyone is on a bloody treadmill. It's kind of irritating. I am a little bit concerned for the rules of Heresy. Hopefully it's not too mental, because I'm not up for mental. I'm up for thematic, chilled games. Sorry, I'm just doing that thing where I'm like really focusing on base coating in this metallics and not hitting the green. So if you hit the green with the brass, it's going to be really hard to fix. And a pain in the absolute arse. So we try and be careful. Do. Block in this part of it and worry about the back tomorrow. Okay, so there's the bronze just base coated in really quickly. Next to the green. I think the green looks fantastic. Like, we'll be adding that oxidization and all that kind of stuff that we do with the Plague Marines and stuff, and obviously the metallics get dulled down and all that kind of stuff will get added to them as well. But I do think it will really work for the armor on the tank. Green Leaf Terrain, welcome back in, buddy. Hope you are doing well. Hobby space question, Andy. How do you store your paints now that I have a new desk? I'm looking for a set of ideas. I will show you my favorite way to store paints. In fact, there's one right here. Or why I went somewhere else to pick up one of these. Mainly because this is so... don't drop it, Andy. Don't drop it. 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 These. See how pretty they are? See how gorgeous they are? I use these. They fit kind of every kind of paint you can imagine, whether it be a Games Workshop paint or a dropper bottle paint or anything in between. I have a video on them, and I have affiliate links for Amazon and stuff in that video as well, so you can go check it out if you decide you do want to go for those. I think they're great. I own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think about 10 of them so far, and I need more. Old World is also anti-treadmill. I wonder if they will do it. Yeah, I don't know how that will work with Old World. I hope they don't do anything mad with it. I think they've hit a really nice place with the rules. I'm happy with the way it is. So yeah, I think besides Necromunda and Blood Bowl, everything is moving towards the 3-year cycle. It's just so they can keep up with the big releases and stuff like that. When the Space Wolves video coming, buddy? When I get the box, unfortunately I wasn't one of the lucky few to get sent the Space Wolf box, so I am working with Underworld Gaming. These guys here have sorted me a box. They're sponsoring me one of these box sets that I can do videos with and stuff like that. So big shout out to Underworld Gaming. Make sure if you're in Dublin, you're checking out their website for your orders and stuff like that. But their orders are super stuck in customs and everything is messing up with them as well. So unfortunately they're delayed getting their boxes, which is then delaying getting to me. So I'm totally ready to start making them. Each week I've left gaps in my schedule that I can just insert Space Wolf videos if I get the box in time. But don't worry, as soon as it drops, I will be doing everything. So yeah. I think that is alienating a lot of the non-comp and non-tournament casual player base. The 3-year cycle? Yeah, I don't want a 3-year cycle. I don't want the rules changing constantly. Hey, new here, Crucible. You're very welcome, Mr. Crucible. How are you? But just painting my Kill Team Plaguecaster. If you're watching your video, really jealous I don't have the yellow glaze. There you go. 2 thin coats. Duncan Rhodes paint, 2 thin coats, yellow glaze, exactly the same stuff, currently still available. So you can just order this up yourself. So yeah, just order a bottle or 2 of this and keep you sorted for your entire project. I just did the same thing with the green on this. So here's what the green looks like on a tank. So yeah, very pretty. Waits for the crash. I mean, citadels. I only have a few drop balls right now. Yeah, citadel. These are kind of half empty right now because I'm so using. I need to put my paints back properly, but so this is half empty, but you can see it fits the Games Workshop piles perfectly as well, and like perfectly the amount across. Like if I do this, it's exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Games Workshop pots across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was 54 paints in a rack. It's pretty good, right? You get 4 of those racks, then you've got over 200 paints stored and organized. So I think they're really good for their size. And what am I crashing into? Nothing. A ghost. Ooh, spooky ghost. Damn it. Right price for my hobby space progress tonight on Discord. Yeah, they're not too expensive either. Like I have the really nice ones from Frontier Wargaming as well. They sent me out all those really nice wooden ones, and they're so pretty looking, but they take up more space and hold less paints. So I know it's a bit shitty, but I prefer the these are nail varnish holders. So like when you go to a salon and you see all their nail varnishes like on nicely displayed, they're using those ones. So this is gonna cause so many fights. So far they're gonna be 2 Imperial Fist players and 2 Blood Angels players. Yep. Except there's only gonna be 1 Imperial Fist player because he's not invited. Old World 3-year release cycle will be once every 3 years. I can try to pre-order whichever plastic they left over in the mold from the skeleton holdings. Yeah. I hope they balance out Old World a bit, make infantry a bit better, and give us campaign books, and I'll be happy. Campaign books for sure. And I suppose I have only been using Bretonnians for most of it. I haven't played that many games with other infantry blocks, so I'm not discrediting or saying that you're wrong with that. So I if that's the case, then yeah, because I really like infantry blocks, and I would like them to do well. So yeah. Oh, yes. I should wait for this metallic to fully dry before I can then throw the same brown wash on that. What time we I'll try and get more done. It's still tacky. Paint takes longer to dry than you think. Like it's touch dry now, but like slightly tacky. Which means I can't really take a shade without the shade having metallic flakes in it and stuff. Hydrate. Fine. Oh no, it's all gone. Time for some Aussie lemonade. Bet that was real loud on your end. Then we should do the Siege of Terra. We should do the Siege of Terra. Or parts of the Siege of Terra, which means we need 4 other players for the opposite side. I think we only have 2. We have like 2 Iron Warriors players, which would work. And then 2... It kind of have to be World Eaters. The Old World releasing a match play guide before it came by, but yeah. Okay, new Middle Earth video. Please support if you want to see more. It was loud, yes. Yes, we have a Middle Earth Monday / Token Tuesday video up right now. I painted up a new Lord of the Rings miniature. I'll show it to you. Oh God, I crashed again. So much crap. Old man noises. Here's my beach bone, which is the new resin end that Games Workshop just released, which is a really nice model. They look really cool. As we will also have a White Scar player. Who's the White Scar player? Which demon Primarch do you prefer, 30k or 40k? I prefer. Yeah, he's not coming. He'll say he is, but he's not. No. Which demon Primarch do you prefer, 30k or 40k? For whom? Mortarion. I prefer. Well, there is no 30. Yeah. Which one? Because there's different like versions. I don't know who you're talking about. Majority of the time, I prefer the 40k ones. Infantry needs to be a little better. Many people I talk to who run tournaments often do missions where you have to bring infantry, and where dragons and other monsters are not as effective to balance the game out. He will, even if I have to train to. He won't. I'm not putting any faith in that at all. No faith. This end has a nose. Any cool? You got a cool base too. Urkai shield and sword is all left in the stones. Do you like Angron Ascended or 40k Angron? For me is my preferred one. Did you do the Forge Wolf Fulgrim? Yes, I've done both Fulgrims. I have been subscribed to Mezgit's Patreon for like 2 years now, solid. So yes, I have many of his dredge models. They're amazing. I haven't printed any of them though. It's so weird. Sometimes I'll support people just because I like what they do. It's the same with the Warp Miniature guys. Never painted a single one of their models, but I support them on Patreon every single month and get their files. I love what they do. I love the style and stuff. So he's another one for me that I just love what he does. Yeah. I am well, buddy. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. I just ordered Sigismund to proxy in my 40k Templars army and finished the book. Nice. Sigismund, I think, is going to be my first model for the new Horus Heresy army for my trip next year if we decide on Horus Heresy. I'm going to try and do Sigismund really nice. I'm going to have a huge detachment of Templars in my Imperial Fist. Like at least half my army will be the Templars. Sigismund's boys. Yeah, I think it'll be really cool. Angron Ascended looks wrong, just in my opinion. He looks cool. He's just, I guess whatever you have in your head is what he looks like. But I'm not a big fan of Angron Ascended either, but Fulgrim Ascended is so much better than 40k. He's fine. I don't think he's as nice. Hold on. Let's play this game. Where did I put Fulgrim Ascended? There he is. There's Fulgrim. So, for starters, proportionally, I think the Forge World one is ridiculous in its size of its wings. It's so, like, I'm literally struggling to move around my desk with its freaking wings. So, can we zoom out more? That's about all I can give you. So, here is both Fulgrims. I think this is much more imposing. I think it's obviously easier to work with. I think it's better sculpted. I love that design, the peeled back flayed skin and stuff with the Slaneshi symbol in the middle. I love that. I love his tail. I love all the fins and stuff. I love his wings. I could have done a better job on his face. I do know I let that down a little bit with this model. I didn't know what to do with it, but so I just blended it in with the rest of the purple. It probably should have been a different color. I love the big swooped wing on his tilt shield, and obviously his weapons, swords, gorgeous. So he's really nice, and I'm not saying this guy's not nice. He is a nice model. He is stunning, but he's just very different. He is also one of the worst miniatures that I've ever actually worked with. He's horrible. Like, you get to a model where the gaps in between the fingers and the sword hilts, like, I didn't bother. See here? See the way it's filled in still? Because they just get to the instructions like, yeah, cool, just cut out that bit. And I'm like, you want me to take a point of a scalpel and take away the flash in between that section and not mess up his rings or his fingers or the hilt? Or are you insane? Why is that there? Like, it's just, that should not be there as part of the casting process. And then I genuinely cannot stand the size of his wings. Like, take this away and you're left with this like almost perfect miniature. And then this freaking wings. Look at the size of them. So, yeah. Fulgrim 30k, definitely, but 40k is more affordable. I really want to paint the Angel and just his golden boys, but I don't think that would work at all. No, that's just cheating. That's you trying to beat him again. Interesting idea for a narrative multiplayer game. Everyone plays Space Marines with an even split of loyal versus terrorists. Before the game, everyone pulls a paper from a hat. On our ones, it's written Alpha Legion, and the Alpha Legion player wins if there's the least man standing and can reveal themselves at the point of attacking the teammate. Loyal Heritage player win if they defeat the other side before the Alpha Legion unveils. That's kind of cool. I did not expect the Fulgrim Ascended to look smaller. He's tiny. Comparatively, he's tiny. Look. He's a little boy. Even the base size, look. He's only a little boy. I'm really tempted to give him the helmet just because I don't think anyone will. That's a shame, but you make a great point. That's the same issue I have with the 30k Angron. The wings are disproportionate. Disproportionate, yeah. And I never complain about things like being ridiculous to transport. Because I always have this tagline, which is, I never want a Games Workshop sculptor to restrict their creativeness and think of transport. I think they should just make the coolest thing they can, and then we'll figure it out. But man, how do you get this model from A to B? Look at the size of the wings. Need to make that real. What's wrong with my trousers? Look at the fucking size of them. But for his wings, it'd be hilarious. Like, there's his wings have shrunk in the 10,000 years, right? He's gotten bigger, but his wings have gotten smaller. Horus Heresy Among Us. I make my models worse by kit bashing more fragile stuff on it. You lunatic. Skidibidibidibidibid. Would you rather gain muscle or gain eagers? I don't know what an eagers is. A lot of guys get that problem in their old age. All right, Mr. 40-year-old man. I've definitely watched it because I watch all the videos. I just paint whilst I do, so I'm not getting... Yeah, it was an older video. 40k version is better game piece. I agree. I'd be so tempted to make the old world gnomes army from warp miniatures and use them as the gobbles. Yeah, it's amazing. I love the gnomes. The badgers for troll. Oh, so good. The forgeable one is about a third smaller. That's my... Yeah. Holy moly. Someone call... The Censor. BRB watching your nail polish holder video. Enjoy it. Shrinkage from all the drugs he's taking. It's possible. It is definitely possible. So, yeah. As sitting as a centerpiece in my Emperor's Children army, he stands out for me more. I said it before, like, I'm glad that I own this model and he is in my collection fully painted. I'm glad, but I got sent this for free to do. If I didn't get sent this for free, I would never buy it. Like, even as a piece, like, it's just such a pain in the arse. I would never buy it just, like, to just enjoy it because it's not enjoyable. Whereas this was super enjoyable. I loved painting him. I had so much fun. Yeah, I am going to go back and repaint some of them though. I've said this before. I did it in the video just because it's what he has in the video, but like you see his like gold calf armor or whatever, and there's loads of examples of this on his armor, but see the way it's got like trim and then it's got the flat panel. I'm gonna go back and paint the flat panels on all the armor pink, that kind of pink, to match my Emperor's Children color scheme. So he is serving next to my Emperor's Children. I think he'll look cooler that way, but I didn't want to do that because no one else is going to be doing that color. So I also 3D printed these yesterday. They're base toppers for night size bases. Just to make night bases a little bit less empty spaces. Isn't it cool? Canonically, Fulgrim's wings are smaller because Slanesh kept dropping him and broke up. Yeah. I think we should now do the Warhammer World Trip every year, but do a different system. This year, we did 40k. Next year, we do Heresy. The year after, we do Old World. It's true. Yeah, personally, I'd prefer the Forge World sculpt in the size and pose of the GW sculpt, but with even bigger wings in plastic. Yeah, each to their own, man. I'm sure that would look really cool. You mean leading? Can't really bring myself to work that model in resin. But I do not really like the design of the plastic. Oh, I love it. Well, you know, each their own. Rylnor, Fulgrim. I haven't done math in a long time. Are you saying Rylnor is better than Fulgrim? I'm a little out of the loop. Where are the Death Guard for? Oh, the Death Guard are just for me. I'm doing a personal Death Guard project, and I'm using the streams to paint them. So I was doing a tester on this one to see if the green that I get on the armor works on tanks. So instead of like, I stippled on the green, the Death Guard green and the Nurgling green, and then put the yellow glaze on, and I got this color for the green armor, which I really like. I think it looks really good. And then I just base coated in the bronze, just so you get an idea of the like feel of it. So I'll do the same on the rest of the panels for the actual tank, and these will always be the dirty silver and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really cool. Yeah. Killer Streak 929. Thank you so much for jumping into the chat first of all, and then thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it, buddy. Yes, Rylnor is a beast. There's no doubt in anybody's mind that Ancient Rylnor is an absolute beast. He set off a nuke in Fulgrim's face. So I have made a mistake. It's okay, buddy. We'll talk through it together. We're here for you. At least I am for another 12 minutes. When your Death Guard are ready, you can fight my children. Deal. You mean leading? Can really bring, yes. But I do not really, yes. Rylnor is goat. Rylnor is a beast. That was one of the saddest scenes, man. He had a crack in his seal and fucking Esteban. I started an Emperor's Children army and a Knight army at the same time. Is it a Chaos Knight army? Or is it just a Knight army? Because if it's a Chaos Knight army, it's just one army, buddy. You're good. It's just a big Emperor's Children army. If it's a Loyalist Knight army and an Emperor's Children army, it's still fine. Do whatever you want. It's totally fine. Paint up a couple of models, do a Knight. Knights are huge, big projects, but they're really nice cleansing projects. I really like doing Knights, and I do maybe 2 or 3 of them a year. You know what I mean? Like, I don't do a Knight army. I've never sat down and been like, I'm doing a Knight army, but I now have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 fully painted Knights. Never planned on having 6 fully painted Knights, but they're there. Yes and no. I have modeled them where I can play them as loyal and chaos. Nice. Then it's just one project, dude. You're just doing a big chaos army. Love it. He's not going to be throwing hands with your kids. No, I'm a godfather to one of his kids. I'd be throwing hands at them. I love the idea that the reason that the Emperor's children don't have hell brutes is Fulgrim doesn't trust that they won't blow up like Rylnor. Yeah. Yeah. See, I got my greasy mitts on. I'm putting a Hellbrute in my Emperor's Children army, and I don't give a shit. You can just deal with it. Um, because in my recent travels, I managed to get my hands on this, which is the Forge World Emperor's Children Dreadnought with the twin sonic cannons and stuff like that. Really cool. Missing the back part, which is annoying. I'm sure I can find that part of 3D print and put that bit back on. It's an old model. It's not particularly nice, but I think it's going to look incredible in my bright, vibrant pink color scheme. And I'm going to smash them around as a Hellbrute in my army, and I don't think anyone else will care. I'm back. My current project is 2 Gladiators and 2 Brutalis Dreadnoughts ready for September. That's a lot of extra firepower being added to an army. I was supposed to build the Dreads tonight. So far, I've drunk beer and watched you paint Death Guard. Solid. The idea of trying to build 2 Dreads in one night is a bad idea. Oh no, they're not Brutalis. Not the Ballistas, they're Brutalis Dreadnoughts, so they're full multi-part kits. Don't try and build 2 of them in one night. There's a lot of parts. They take a whole evening to build. Take your time. Build one now. Give it 2 days. Build another one. It's a lot of work. Or field him as a demon prince. Nah, he's a dreadnought. I was going to paint a Member's Children army in half red and half blue. Ah, yes. And in a list, I was going to have 3 Predators. I was going to have 3 Dreadnoughts, some Terminators, a Land Raiders, some Marines. The Games Workshop wouldn't let me. Yeah. They removed those units from my book. I made a call, so you can get stuffed. Any chance of setting up a narrative gaming event? It's not impossible. I like the idea of it. I have imposter syndrome when it comes to that stuff, though. I feel like I would set it up and no one would show up. I don't know why. I'm sure someone would, but I have that feeling. It's terrifying. So, yeah. Any chance of setting up a narrative gaming event? I'll be even brutal. I'll like put my heart on my sleeve and I'll tell you an even bigger reason, right? Which is in that, again, because I have that imposter syndrome idea of like no one will show up. And the logical place we would hold it would be Warhammer World. And remember that I worked there for 15 years. So I know everybody there. And obviously when I decided to quit my job with Games Workshop and do this, I am so sure that there was so many people out there that thought I was being really stupid. That I was throwing away a career on this mad gambit. And then if I tried to run an event there and nobody showed up, it would be like, we told you, you're an idiot. Look, you failed. It's really bad. You know what I mean? It's so weird that my brain goes there. Yeah, like I wish that I could just do it and 100 people would show up and it would be incredible and everyone would eat their words and stuff. That'd be awesome. But yeah, so there you go. There's how I feel. I can't help it. I was offline at the time. Question: Saturnine Termies and Dreadnoughts thoughts. Okay, first reveal, despised, hated them, thought they were so stupid. That was the leaks. Okay, watched the reveals in a room with all my friends when we were over in Warhammer World, and they were all still pretty down on them, but it actually turned in my brain a little bit. I was a bit like, I'm kind of curious. I'm going to hold reservation until I paint them, and then I'll decide like my final verdict. So it has gone from despise to I'm quite excited to get my hands on them, paint them yellow, and see if I like them after that. So the Dreadnought is fine because it's a weird Dreadnought thing. The Terminators are a little bit strange. But we shall see. Shakes Andy for thoughts. Ember's Children forgot their Predators. Yeah. I do have a Grey Knight Forge World one from 20-ish years ago. I have that one as well, and it's mega broken. The Forge World one I have is I have a Death Guard one, I have the Emperor's Children one, I have a Night Lords one, I have the Grey Knights one, and I have that I still need to get arms for. I have the Chaplain one still in blister. So I just need to get some arms for the Chaplain one. I wish I'd gotten more. I love all those Dreadnoughts. In Horse Heresy, need top setup fight between those two. Yeah, oh man, I've just parts. Of the World Leaders one still. I wish, yeah, I don't have a World Leaders one. I'd love a World Leaders one. Might bring my full metal Bjorn as well. Nice. My metal Bjorn needs finishing. Yes, someday Grey Knights will be remembered. I know. I was genuinely upset by the like not amount of love they got with the announcement of the Armageddon campaign, and they just started showing off the old power armor and the old Terminators, and I was like, are you serious? Like, come on. His legs buckled after stripping the old caked paint on him. I would show up. Appreciate you, buddy. I'd come. Look, I get it. You're wrong, but I get it. Paint them yellow. Why would you do that? Because it's the correct color for all heresy. Dorn 1. I need them so I can paint them gray and mix Termi armor marks. Yes. I built them in steps. So I got both the same point and stop, but they finished at the same time. I get that. I've done that before. I built 4 arm fires. Oh, War Dogs in one night. Did you see the new army box for the Chaos Knights, which is 5 War Dogs in a box? That's sold. That's so cool. Make someone else run it and show up. Now you're talking. We will do an old world game day in Underworld. That'll be class. If you give me at least 6 months notice, I will be there. If you schedule it in June or July next year, I have planned to go to Warhammer World. Nice. The only model I have in Blister Pack is the Sanguinor. These are the metal one. Give them to me. 6 weeks later, the new one released. I'll hold him forever. Aw, 7 actually. Oh, it is. It's 7. I knew it was an odd number. 7 Armigers or War Dogs in one kit. That's awesome. I can't wait to see what that box looks like. Why are we disappointed? It's so cool. Everyone's already got enough big knights. Just give me a rake of small knights now. Grey Knight only getting an upgrade sprue is crazy. Because Wolfguard don't limit armor marks for Terminators. It's true. I still think the best thing you could do for Horus Heresy kit-wise, for me anyway, is it's called the Late Heresy box, or the Siege Armor box. And it has 10 Marines in a mixed match of armor patterns. And I mean, like, this guy's got Mark 3 arms, and it's got Mark 5 pauldrons, and it's got a Mark 7 head, because it's scavenged. And then battle damage is sculpted on. There's bolter dents, and there's chips taken out of them, there's scars across visors, and it's just a bashed and broken squad of Marines. And you get 10 of them. And obviously it's interchangeable with all the heavy weapons and special weapon kits that they have already for them and stuff like that. I would do the shit out of a Late Heresy Siege force that's all bashed and stuff. I think that'd be so cool. The coolest one for me are the big ones. I get you. I understand that it's disappointing. I get what you mean and why. I was very excited because I have one of the large Chaos Knights and then 3 of the medium-sized Chaos Knights. So I need armigers. So I might try and get myself that box set. The War Dogs. I will stick with Legion Imperialis for getting Horus Heresy as a setting. You mean a proper Mark 5 box? No, it's got all the marks mixed in. Because they talk about it all the time in the Heresy, like in the Siege. You know, Marines walking around with grey shoulder pads and different helmets because everything else is damaged and wrecked and they're scavenging whatever they can, and it's just a lot of work. 40k armies are enough, and I'm using a good amount of the vehicles in my Krieg project anyways. Nice. It's the resin version. That can just go straight in the bin. I need time so I can make a few vacation days without screwing up everything at work and booking flights, hotels, etc. Yeah, it'd be a nice idea. The 7 small lights in a box is not very enticing to me. I get that. Don't bother with that box set. Just, buy a couple of big knights. I do want a knight set up for my house. Hawk Shroud to join my wolves. That'd be really cool. All my loyalist knights are going Templars now. They're part of that household. And all my Chaos Knights are going Nurgle. They're going as part of my Death Guard force. There's a mix, even better if it was blind mix. It'd be really cool. I genuinely think that box set would sell 1 million copies. I think everyone would want that. Is that just me? Am I wrong? If there's anyone out there that's a Heresy player, do they like that idea of a box set? Or are they like, no, I wouldn't buy that? Maybe I'm just a lunatic. Or a loser. Everyone's bashed up Marines. I'm genuinely really happy with how the green turned out. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that turned out nice. I'm away. See you later, Glenn. I see you Thursday. Stay safe and sleep well. Thanks, buddy. Yeah. It is raid time anyway. We need to go and find somebody to raid. There is 32 people left on Twitch, 24 on YouTube. I will, of course, put the link into the YouTube chat as well if you want to join us, or if you want to jump over to Twitch and find somebody to raid. Let's find out. Let's find somebody to raid. Miniatures and modeling. Soulblood Gravelords. Award-winning. Who is this person? There's a tag which makes me not want to raid this guy. Suspiciously British. I'm trying to get in, but I got smacked by a double. What's going on here? There's so many pop-ups on his thing. It's really just jarring. Do 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 do. Who's this guy? Oh my god, we've raided everybody before at some point. There's nobody new. I got no one left to raid and say hi to and stuff. SMC painting and glaze I got. I don't know. Alright, fine. Let's go for a slightly bigger creator. Who have we got? Oh. Nope. Ah, there we go. Someone's painting Bretonians. Which one's not Twitch? Slash raid. Thank you guys so much as always for joining me on the old chatteroo and having a bit of time and a bit of fun. I hope you had fun. We'll of course be returning on Thursday with a continued stream. I will be painting more of my Death Guard tank, trying to get him done in the next couple of streams. Have a little bit of fun with that, so hopefully you're looking forward to it. Have a great midweek, get some hobby done, enjoy yourselves, and bye bye.
Register, and then we'll find someone else to raid on to. No. No. Hey, Mediocre Hobbies. Thank you for the raid.
What have I done?